The vertical bar chart in blue gives an important piece of information on the daily Internet usage measured between the years 2006 and 2013. The x-axis is labeled with years, whereas the y-axis shows numbers in millions from 0 to 40 million. The very first year of the research, which is 2006, shows the Internet usage reaching nearly 16 million that gradually increases to 20, 22, 26, 29 million, and so on. The last year of the observation is 2013, where the Internet has been used by approximately 35 million people. Overall, I can say that the Internet usage has been significantly increased for the given period. Using this graph, you can see how the world's population is distributed. North America and South America appear red on the graph, which shows us that the two regions have a lot of red on the left side. The graph shows that if we look to the right, we can see some red in China and some red in India, which is obvious. When we look at the center of the graph, we can see some red in Europe, and we can see some red in Africa. This is a handy visualization of the world's population density, in my opinion. This bar graph shows the millions of units expected to be sold of three different beverages. Soft drinks, which are represented in yellow, are expected to sell the most units, 45 million, while still water, which is shown in orange, is expected to sell the least units, 27 million, with sparkling water coming in second with 38 million bottles sold. Overall, soft drinks were the most common beverage sold, whereas water was the least popular. A beautiful illustration depicts how complicated-looking taxi services operate around a town or metropolis. As can be seen in the image, there are several components involved. To complete a taxi service workflow, the most up-to-date technological tools and equipment are employed. Customers may book taxis over the phone or online, according to the graphic. If the order is placed by phone, it is routed to operators who arrange a reservation. It goes to a workstation desktop if it's online. Finally, the order is sent to the main taxi service server, which contacts the nearest or concerned taxi drivers. The entire workflow is dependent on satellites and devices, as indicated in the middle of the image. This is a comparison of the number of people who saw a film at a cinema in each country. At 24.5 million, India has the biggest number of cinemagoers in the world. Action was the most popular genre in India, while horror was the least popular, at 2.5 million. Despite this, Japan is the country with the lowest number of cinemagoers, at 17.8 million. At 7.1 million viewers, action was the most popular genre, while horror was the least popular, at 2.2 million. In terms of total number of moviegoers, India has the largest number while Japan has the lowest. The graph provides data on the most potent passports available. As can be seen from the graph, Japan has the highest number, 193, as can be seen from the data. The graph clearly shows that Singapore has the second highest number, 192, as can be seen. According to the graph, the smallest number is located in Spain, which clocks in at roughly 190 people. According to the graph, we can clearly observe that Italy has a total population of 190 people. Finally, the graph depicts the most powerful passports in the world. This map of Africa depicts the expected shift in Africa's cereal production in 2080. North Africa has a 5-25% decline in appropriate areas, but the center region of Africa has a 25-35% rise. The further south one travels, there appears to be a 25-35% or greater increase. Northern and southern locations are not appropriate for cereal production, while center areas are split between a 25% increase /25% decline in cereal yield overall. From 2003/2004 to 2013/2014, this graph shows how the principal financing sources for overseas students in the United States have changed. Financial assistance from friends and family accounted for 67% of all overseas students' support in 2003/2004. Foreign governments /universities and present employers make up only 2% or less of international students' principal sources of income. Personal or family income was the predominant source of income for 65% of overseas students in 2013/2014. Students who said they received their major financial support from personal or family sources have grown by 49% as the number of overseas students studying in the United States has skyrocketed. From 2003/2004 to 2013/2014, the number of overseas students in the United States expanded dramatically, yet personal and family sponsorship remains the dominant source of finance. This double bar chart indicates irrigation potential created and utilized in major and medium irrigation projects in India from pre-plan era to 9th five-year plan. According to this double bar chart, gap between created and utilized irrigation potential is negligible in pre-plan and first, second and third five-year plan. The gap between irrigation potential created and utilizes is steadily increasing and highest during 8th and 9th five-year plan. The chart indicates that efficiency in exploiting created irrigation potential is decreasing steadily from first five-year plan to 9th five-year plan. From 2003 to 2012, the number of severe weather days recorded on this map of the United States. Severe weather occurs just once or twice a year in the western part of the United States, but the Midwest and East Coast experience 20 to 30 days each year. Overall, the East Coast of the United States experiences more severe weather days than the West Coast. From 2008 to 2013, the graph depicts how social media has impacted followers, advocates, and donations. More than anything else, it was the number of followers that increased the greatest within the time span. There was a noticeable increase in the number of donations from approximately 50 in 2008 to over 600 in 2013. In general, social media increased the number of followers the most while decreasing the number of donations. The graph provides information on the manufacture of instant coffee. The graph clearly shows that the first stage is roasting coffee beans, and the second step is extracting the coffee beans. There is no doubt in my mind, after chilling, we'll go on to the soluble coffee components phase. The following phase is termed concentration, and the last step is called drying, as can be seen from the graph. To summarize, the graph depicts the steps involved in the production of instant coffee. The line graph depicts the percentage of people who commuted to work by bicycle in various cities between the years of 2000 and 2014. Portland had the greatest percentage of bicyclists, rising from 2% in 2000 to 7% in 2014. In 2000, Washington, D.C. had the lowest percentage of bike commuters at 1%, while in 2014, Seattle had the lowest rate at slightly under 4%. Over the years, Portland has consistently had the highest percentage of residents who commute by bicycle. The map depicts the 10 most populous cities in the United States in terms of population growth. According to the graph, New York City is home to the most people, with a population of roughly 67,000. As shown on the graph, Houston has the second largest population at roughly 34,000 people. According to the map, Fort Worth has the fewest residents, with a population of about 16,000. Finally, Phoenix is greater than Dallas in terms of population. The given bar graph gives data on the number of people living in urban areas in different continents of the world. The data is given for 1950, 2007 and projected for the year 2030. Initially in 1950, on an average 29%, people of the world lived in the urban area. In this year, the highest percentage of the population lived in urban areas were in North America, which was 64%. In Africa and Asia, these percentages were lowest, 15 and 17% respectively. Half of the European people lived in an urban area, while this percentage was 42% in Latin America. After 57 years in 2007, the percentage of urban area population reached 49% in the world. It is projected that 60% of the world population would live in urban areas in the year 2030. The procedure shows how to prepare for a broadcast on television, radio, or a recorded message. A satellite, radar, or a floating buoy in the water are used to acquire the first clues about what is going on. The buoy transmits a synoptic chart to a central computer, which then distributes information to the numerous broadcasts, while the satellite delivers a photo and the radar makes a radar screen. Before broadcasting, all information must first be transferred to a computer. This graph illustrates the relative proportions of several economic sectors in San Diego County, California, as well as the rest of the world. With a 60% share of San Diego County's total population, the residential sector is followed by industries, 23%, and agricultural, 17%. In California, the residential sector still accounts for 39% of total employment, while agricultural only accounts for 28%. Agriculture, on the other hand, accounts for 69% of all land use in the globe. As a result, the data in this graph is noteworthy. Using this graph, you can see what genre of movie you enjoy the most. As can be seen from this graph, romanticism has the highest number, approximately 6. The second highest value, about 5, may be found in action, as shown by the graph. On the graph, you can clearly see that drama has the shortest amount of characters, which is about 1. We can observe that the number 4 is prevalent in humor. The color blue is clearly seen in motion. The predominant color in science fiction is yellow. In the end, it's a valuable image. The pie chart depicts the different type of transportation used by people in Birmingham City. People of Birmingham use public transport more as compared to their vehicles. 38.9% of people use buses for daily commuting and 30.5% of people travel by train. Only 11.5% of people travels in their cars. 19.1% of people travels by taxi in Birmingham City. Overall, buses are the preferred mode of transportation in Birmingham. Data about renewable energy sources may be seen in the graph. The graph clearly shows that heating and cooling has the highest percentage, at roughly 51%. The graph clearly shows that transportation, with a share of roughly 32%, has the second highest figure. According to the graph, the smallest percentage is in power, which is roughly 17%. As a whole, the graph is a wealth of knowledge.